y'all. I'm April.
And I'm Caroline.
And this
is your Bloody Happy Hour.
Caroline, are you ready for this?
This is your newest guilty pleasure.
It's the bloodiest part of your week.
Did we say something about it also being happy hour?
Show did.
Because we're about to be sipping on some murder. Bloody Happy Hour.
Hey y'all, this is April.
And this is Caroline.
We are back for a quickie episode for you, and stay tuned after this episode to hear all about our episode sponsors. Caroline, are you ready to be updated today?
Oh yes, I love a good update.
So if this is your first episode, our Tuesday episodes are our quickies. We're just we call it in the news. We're telling you everything that's in the news. But we've covered so many stories. Sometimes we'll take a circle back, and we'll kind of catch up or review. So this is a review. And so if you haven't heard the previous ones, you might want to just rewind or listen, either or. And then Thursdays are our full episode, so don't forget to tune in on Thursdays. And I just want to shout out to all of our listeners who've been loving our quickies on Tuesdays, getting a double dose of Bloody Happy Hour. They're loving it. I'm hearing. So OG listeners, brand new listeners, we are so glad you're here.
Very thankful and appreciative.
Yes. It's always happy hour, so Caroline's got some vodka, and I actually got some lemon water. Don't ask why.
Why?
I just can't live my life anymore.
Okay, well.
Yeah.
And you knocked over headphones.
And knocked over the headphones. Okay, so I'm going to start with taking it back to episode 45, Ellen Greenberg.
Oh, yes.
So Caroline did that
a quickie,
story.
that was the full story.
Yeah, that was a full story. Caroline covered that story. What month was that? There was
I think it was
WTF.
I thought it. Oh.
It was
month?
WTF. Yeah. What in the firecracker happened to Ellen Greenberg?
Yes.
So, go back to 45 if you don't know the whole story. But basically, she was a school teacher. She was dating an asshole, and she was found dead in her apartment by him with 20 stab wounds.
Very odd stab wounds in the back of her neck and head.
10 of them were from the back and
like
the neck.
You would have to, if you're watching, you're going to have to stab with your own arm in the back.
Very uncomfortably.
I'm very flexible, but not everybody is.
Yeah.
And that's very painful, and she didn't die from that.
And she was also covered in bruises all over her head and her neck. Her fiance found her. Called 911. What do we know about the 911 phone callers, people?
I just know it was a very odd phone call.
It was a very odd phone call. And now we know that there is a big percentage that the person who calls 911 is actually the person who did the killing, right?
Oh, like Alec Murdaugh?
Yeah.
He's still innocent. But...
Oh, is he innocent?
Well, it's all alleged.
Until proven guilty,
right.
I guess.
Yeah.
So this crime scene also looked a little staged. But somehow it was ruled a suicide.
But it was first ruled a homicide. Then it was suicide.
So they changed their mind. Did they change their mind?
I feel like they did like 3 times.
Yeah.
But it was, there was some stuff going on there that wasn't right.
So just now on January 26th was the 12-year anniversary of her death. And the case is reopened.
Well, because the family had been fighting.
Yes. And they have 2 lawsuits out.
Yeah, because there was maybe some thought that the boyfriend at the time was connected to some people in the court system, like attorneys or judges.
I think it was like the DA.
And they came and took the computer out of her apartment and some stuff from her apartment and did something with it. But all this weird stuff and then it just got brushed under the rug. It was no big deal. And the parents have been fighting for so long because they're like, this is not a suicide.
So the first lawsuit is to have the cause of death moved back to homicide because that was the initial ruling.
Because they don't want her to have that as she committed suicide. That's what I believe they said. They didn't want that to be on her. mean, she's not, but on her record, I guess. Like,
well, and if it's a suicide, then there's no investigation.
Right, but
So
they
want
even
it
said
moved to
they would be
homicide.
fine if it was
Undecided. Yeah.
They just didn't want her to be known as having
Killed herself.
suicide.
Yeah, that way. So that's what they
If they
said.
couldn't
Moved
get
back to
justice.
homicide
Yeah.
or undecided. And then the second lawsuit is accusing several of the officials, like the attorneys, district attorneys, people like kind of covered the investigation, of conspiracy to cover up Ellen's homicide. And so the first one is going to trial in the next like 9 weeks or something.
Oh, wow.
So for the one to have the homicide moved to suicide. And so the other one that they have, that's going to be a little bit harder to kind of take to court. But I read multiple things. I read that the case is now officially reopened. And then that lawsuit, and then pending what that lawsuit happens, like if it goes to homicide, then they'll investigate it as a homicide. So it'll kind of go from there. So there's still no justice for Ellen. I think fiance, I didn't even put his name because he just doesn't matter, but is remarried.
Oh, he's remarried.
Yeah.
He has kids. And what would be the... Could you imagine going this long and then they finally get something and then like he has to go to trial or
Gotta
something?
go to jail or he kills his wife.
I know.
So that's the update on that.
Wow.
Go back to 45 if you need a refresher on that. So I also wanted to give an update on those little twin babies Caroline did on a Quickie episode a couple weeks ago. So if you go back, it was the DoorDash mom. We're in Columbus, Ohio. It was like 1 a.m. She was door dashing, but she had her twin babies in the backseat, Kyson and Kyair.
Uh-huh.
And video showed that a woman left out of the pizza place where she was picking up her DoorDash, and when she came out, her car was gone with her kids in there. Mm-hmm. Amber Alert. This was a stolen car plus a kidnapping. One twin was found in the Dayton International Airport parking lot days later in a random car. I can't even remember where or how, what she was found in, but that was Kyair.
I don't remember if it was the car or
It wasn't-
random car. It
wasn't
must have
the
been
car.
random car.
Yeah, it wasn't the car because they found the car later. But the other twin, Kyson, was still missing, and so was the car. And so eventually 24-year-old Nala Jackson was arrested. She was found driving the car that was stolen, and baby Kyson was in there. And then there was so much celebration afterwards that they were having Facebook Live parties, the family.
The babies were, what did you say, 4-month-old or whatever they
Yeah,
were? And
yeah.
And then you get them, and they get kidnapped, and then you get them back?
Because
and they're perfectly
this
fine?
never ends
and they were,
this well.
Yeah, it was wild. It was wild.
And then the story just kind of, that was it. It was like happy ending and then done until January 29th, just now 2023, Kyair, the one who was found in the parking lot, passed away.
Oh, what happened?
He was eating.
Oh, was he eating like a freaking
cracker?
Sucker? Like a cracker?
Passed away while eating, period.
Was he eating a Jolly
End of
Jolly
sentence,
Rancher?
End of article. End of everything. That's what it was. Family confirmed that baby Kyair passed away while eating. Period.
Next article.
End of article. Nothing, ads at the bottom. And so I just have so many questions. First, when you leave your kids in the car, that's abandonment. That's child abandonment. Even if you're inside paying for gas. Inside going to buy Dr. Pepper, because Dr. Pepper's basically heroin and people are so addicted to it that they leave their kids in the car to buy Dr. Pepper. Right?
Yeah.
That's abandonment. So I wonder if that was ever looked into. They ruled out that there was not a link between Nala, the kidnapper, and the mama. I just don't know what was Nala's motive, I guess. Was it the kids or the car? They did not tell us anything.
No. I guess she got, because then
she's arrested.
She is arrested.
Yeah.
So.
But they didn't say, like, and then why just drop off one baby? And why Kyair?
And what did they do? What was she doing with the babies? Did she even?
He was, remember when they found the baby was well fed. It was just wet.
Yeah.
Like it hadn't been, but it wasn't harmed or anything. So it's just so weird. So was there a CPS investigation? Will there now be some type of investigation? They are doing an autopsy.
And now a word from our sponsors.
Hi, this is Sarah.
And I'm Carter.
And this is Some of Our Thoughts.
We're two Southern sommeliers, and we want to share everything we love and know about wine. We started hanging out during quarantine and cooking and drinking and listening to music, and we just thought this would be a great way to bring everything we know to you guys.
We will make wine knowledge and food pairings easy and approachable. So put on your favorite vinyl, grab your favorite glass of wine, tune into our show, and let's have some fun.
Wine and vinyl. So check us out on roguemedianetwork.com or wherever you get your favorite podcast. We'll be talking about a lot.
Bros and heroes. Gonna tell you about bros and heroes. Gonna tell you about.
Hey, I'm Zach.
And I'm Mike.
And we have a fantastic new podcast to tell you about. Bros, Foes, and Heroes. It's the two of us looking into the world of comics, breaking down some characters that you may have never heard of, and some that are just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, so Zach comes up with a character each time, and I go into it just completely blind. I don't know who this person is or what their abilities are or anything, and basically I guess we kind of go over their origin story and just some of the ridiculous stuff that maybe, especially Golden Age stuff.
Oh, Golden Age stuff is always the best, and we will make sure to highlight all of the shenanigans and just absolute weirdness of everything.
Yeah, that's right. So subscribe today and follow us on Instagram at Bros, Foes, Heroes.
And if you don't, I know where you live. Not really, but please subscribe.
Bros and Foes and Heroes. Gonna tell you about Bros and Foes and Heroes. Gonna tell you about.
911, what's your emergency?
Do you hear that? It's coming from the house.
It's coming from inside the house? Do you mean? Could it be?
The Poltergeist. New from Rogue Media. Two haunted hotties talking about haunted places. Every episode we dive deep into the darkest places and give you a bit of history.
We're getting spooky in all the right places.
You've gobbled your last ghoul.
Follow along for the craziest and spookiest stories with Debbie's Dark Tourism. The Stanley Hotel,
Winchester House,
The Alamo,
Hotel Monte Vista,
and more spooky places. Find us at _Poltergals. POLTERGALS.
Look over your shoulder. It's us,
the Poltergals. Wherever you consume the podcast, you can find us there.
Okay, so I need
we
y'all
don't
to
know what's going to happen with these kids.
I hope they follow up.
One kid, and who gets charged for the murder?
And then is the other kid safe if we don't really know how he died?
I guess we got to go to Ohio.
Columbus, here we come. Okay, another update. Athena Strand.
Oh,
Do you remember the little girl, Paradise, Texas, playing outside, met the FedEx driver, and was gone, missing? There's an Amber Alert. She was found days later.
A friend of mine has a coworker who lives like down the street from where it happened.
Yeah.
Yes.
So sad. So she went missing on November 30th. We covered that story too. The guy who did it was arrested. His name was Tanner Horner. He was the FedEx driver, and remember his story was that he accidentally hit her, and he didn't want her to tell her daddy, so he snapped her neck and strangled her and then dumped her body. So the family...
And did not sexually assault her, that's what he said.
And did not, yeah.
That's what he said.
The family now has a wrongful death lawsuit against Horner and FedEx and the contractor company Topspin, who hired Horner, because they failed to properly investigate his criminal background, his mental history, his prior employment, and did not properly train and supervise him. So that part leads me to believe that he did not know how to operate or drive his truck. So is this story, is the evidence backing up his story that he did accidentally hit her, and that was the motive for killing her and not anything sexual? Because nothing's come out about anything sexual. He's only been...
Except for his past. Except for past accusations.
Not with Athena.
Right.
So this is a $1 million lawsuit.
And you just assume that that's a motivation whenever somebody kidnaps a child.
Yeah. First place your mind goes.
Yeah.
So what do you think, $1 million lawsuit? Do you think parents have every right to sue all the entities?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. More than that. I mean.
So he was... Now they are going for the death penalty is what came out, 2 days ago, is that he is getting they're going for death. And I think that's why it kept coming up on, or they're seeking the death penalty for, And he's also facing 3 sexual assault outside charges. So just kind of updating little sweet Athena Strand. And
he originally said that, because, he hit her and she was still like talking. So she wasn't injured enough to where she couldn't even, like, she was talking.
Yeah. She didn't die on impact, so he didn't kill her.
She wasn't even
injured.
really, I'm sure she was hurt, but she wasn't like fatally injured from that being hit by the car, and even got into the car and they talked, and it's like on video.
Yeah. And so
then he just all of a sudden strangles her.
That's the part that's so hard to understand.
I know. I don't buy it. I don't buy his story. This is all we know, though, is we just know what they put out there. We don't know.
And they didn't release like autopsy types information to see like what was all really done to the body, because I feel like after that they would have said she was sexually assaulted.
Yeah.
Why would you hold that now? Like,
I don't know if they hold stuff for trial. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So there's that. Athena Horn. Nicola Bulley. Bulley. She's the mom from UK.
We got another mom on Thursday.
And she went missing January 27th. We just covered this one. So she was last seen at the river when she was walking her dog, remember?
Yep.
And her cell phone was on the bench, so people assumed that she was in the river. So this diving team came out, and they searched for 2 days. And then they were like, no, we don't think she's in here. And they said that phone on the bench was possibly a decoy. So then they were kind of expanding the search a little bit. Then Nicola was classified as a high risk because
she drank.
Because she drank and she was perimenopausal.
Please.
What is perimenopausal? I guess premenopausal.
Okay.
Maybe I spelled it wrong. Maybe
It's
called
premenopausal.
She was 45.
Okay.
And 45 with little kids, you better drink, or you're going to end up like Darcy Clancy.
Darcy Clancy. Wait, who's Darcy Clancy?
The mama who strangled her kids. Is that her name?
Lindsay.
Lindsay Clancy. That's why you're confused. So Nicola was doing the right thing. So then parents were pissed because on February 16th, parents were pissed because they were like, why are you caring about how much she drinks and what meds she's on? Why are you investigating like her personal business and not like her disappearance? Which I understand maybe a little bit of it may contribute. Like you want to see, was she having an affair? Was she on any drugs or something? But it was taken away from the actual integrity of the investigation.
Like, she had brought her kid to, like, her kid was going to school.
She
was working
every morning.
She was on a work call.
Sound like a badass mom to me.
I mean, I'm sorry. She had wine every night.
And her kids were still alive because she did.
Wow.
Okay.
But let's talk about her alcoholic problems.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
But they're saying like that's how much this doesn't really happen in that area. So it's so hard for them to fathom that this could have been something a little bit more eerie so it had to have been suicide, right? So February 17th, Lancashire police announced that they're conducting an interview into the conducting an internal review into the handling of her disappearance. So somebody's kind of holding them accountable because
they need to.
They didn't do what they're supposed to. And then Sunday, February 19th, so just the other day, the police found a body, which this is crazy, in the exact spot where she was last seen.
Oh, wow. Did she just float up from the bottom? Or was she placed there?
Okay, and so they talk about how treacherous this river was. And so the divers, they really tooted their own horn before they got in the water, and they only lasted 2 days. And then when they got out, and they were like, she's not in there. But they did say that, like, there's not even, like, a current that flows one way. It's, like, multiple. It's, like, currents. Yeah. And that you can't see it's black. So you can't search visually. You have to search by the touch. So
what the hell is this black river?
Don't swim in this river.
Like, what? Well, is this Ohio? Are we in Ohio with the chemical spill or what?
It is. So conditions are horrible. Dive team gave up. But I don't know. I couldn't find who actually found her right now. Like who went in the water and found her. And then if this is so treacherous, why is she right there where she was last
the thing,
seen?
Like, I love a good conspiracy.
Yes.
And they're like, I did read maybe she was on the banks of it or whatever, but then they're like, there's no way you would just wash up right there.
Right there.
When they've searched over and over and over. And they're like, the theory that whoever, I was listening or reading, they're saying that they think somebody put her body there. From where? I mean, it was probably in that damn house that they didn't search.
Yeah. She was in the house.
She was in the house the whole time. They were feeding her. And then when the cops were getting donuts at the Krispy Kreme down the road, they were like, oh, let's just
let's
drop her in the river with the cement block.
So, so right now, coroners say the death, this is stupid, the death appears to be due to unknown, violent, or natural causes. So
thanks for all those
Thanks
choices.
For 3 options that cancel out each other.
A, B, C, D, or all the above.
Or all the above. E, all the above. So the family now just has to wait for answers and wait for the official autopsy to determine the actual cause and manner of death, which we will be following because I'm so very curious to know.
I'm pretty sure the cause of death was alcoholism.
I mean, red wine every night.
Yep, red wine.
So when are we dying?
I don't know how I'm still alive.
Oh, goodness. Still going. Updates. Madison Brooks. I don't know if this is an update, but I just saw it because it was in the news.
Oh.
Like yesterday.
Yes.
Desmond Carter, the 17-year-old. Were they all arrested?
They were all
questioned,
charged, I think. But they didn't release the identity of the 17-year-old because he was a minor.
But now they're trying him as an adult.
But now they're going to try him as an adult because of something maybe previous, or I don't know what made them decide that. Probably the brutality of it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or maybe there's some prior things that he has. I just saw a little bit of it.
So they released his name as 17-year-old Desmond Carter. He was the high school kid. He was indicted February 22nd. So
that was
last week for y'all, yesterday for us, on 1st-degree and 3rd-degree rape, and will be charged as an adult. And that's just, it's crazy because he's 17. He's 17. I'd like to know, was he too plastered? And so is she the victim because she's the female? Like, what if you're equally drunk?
I don't think you can get it up if you're that drunk.
Who do you screw?
Isn't it hard to get it up if you're like real drunk, like whiskey?
I mean, whiskey is a thing.
We're being proper today,
yeah.
Whiskey Pete.
Sorry, I know y'all probably had enough last week. We're gonna give y'all PG-13 plus today.
We're PG-13
not rated
for
R.
a couple of days. I brought my holy water.
I would like to know more.
Okay, but really, I don't think. I mean, she couldn't even walk. Like, she couldn't even. Mm-mm. So, can a guy who can't walk manage to make his penis function? Like, if he's
I don't know if he couldn't walk, but it affects everybody differently. I just want to, okay, when I'm plaster drunk, I don't know that who else is plaster drunk around me, really, because I don't know.
Yeah, so, but if you're to that level, you're not thinking about, oh, I want to go bone somebody. You're like, I need to go get some Whataburger, or I need to go pass out or throw up.
Maybe because they don't have Whataburger there. They're like, there's nothing else to do. We're going to do the dirty. Anyways, so sad. We make everything a joke. But I just got to know more about this and why just him now, because wasn't there another boy that was having sex with her? It was two people.
Yeah, it was two in the back seat, and they were doing stuff with her, and then the front seat guys were recording.
Yeah, recording. So we'll be following that. And
Terrible.
Madeline McCan.
Oh, here we go. Y'all.
We've never covered this story.
Let's take a poll. It's me and you. We're the poll. Do you think it's her?
No.
I do. Because I saw a TikTok that said something about her eyeball was the same.
It's a lot of evidence. I actually just changed my mind.
The evidence just put me over the edge.
It is a weird little thing on the eye.
Yeah, because there's no way that could be faked or photoshopped
ever.
No,
and there's not a lot of blonde head white.
No, I don't think I've
girls
seen
with blue eyes that look similar at all.
No,
so I don't know. So listen, Madeline McCan, she is like the Jean Bonnet-ish of the. Where was she from? UK.
Yeah.
We haven't covered the story, but it's something that we're probably going to have to cover because I had to go back and kind of refresh myself a little bit.
Actually thought
but it was
she
after
was
Margarita
dead.
Day.
I thought she was dead. I didn't think she was even still alive.
They declared her dead.
Oh.
But there's no body. So
okay.
She was abducted from her bed in Portugal while they were on vacation. Her parents, and her siblings. This was in 2007. She was 3 years old when she was abducted. She would be 19 years old right now. Is that math right? Because I got it from an article.
Maybe 21. I don't know.
No, the girl's 21. Yeah, she would be 19 years old.
Oh, yes. Okay.
We're old right now. So she was never seen. No video, no evidence, no hair anywhere.
Wasn't she in a hotel room and
they're at a resort?
Yes, they're at a resort.
So parents,
there were other kids that were in the room, and then all of a sudden they go back up to check on the kids, and she's not there.
Parents and they were there with other couples. They would go to dinner. They'd put the kids to bed, and they'd go to dinner, which is 300 yards from. But this is another country, so it's probably not 300 yards from where their resort is. And so the parents would all take turns going to check on the kids in case they're crying, because she was in the bed with her 2-year-old twin. She had siblings that were twins. They were 2 years old. And there was Madeline. And I think there's other kids there in the house somewhere.
Wait, so they left a 2-year-old alone?
2 2-year-olds and a 3-year-olds.
How old were the other kids?
I don't know.
Oh my. Okay, yeah, go ahead. I know we got.
But everybody was sleeping.
Yes.
Okay. So They went and checked every little bit, and then the last time that they checked, Madeline was not in the bed. So investigation. There were so many conspiracy theories, but the suspects, it always went back to the parents, that the parents were suspects and that they got rid of Madeline for whatever reason. Okay, so they were kind of under scrutiny. All these years later, an Instagram model named Julia Faustina. Julia. Is it Julia?
I was just saying Julia Gulia, but that's not.
Oh, Julia Faustina. Now, Madeline was never found, and she was not declared, basically declared dead. Julia has come forward. She's a 21-year-old person from British.
Portugal, right?
She appeared, okay. So I don't remember where she's from. I don't want to say where she's from.
Okay. Or Polish.
But she is Polish.
Poland. They're peas. Same thing.
She claims to be Madeline McCan. She's posted childhood videos, and she's doing this on Instagram.
Her screen name is I Am Madeline McCan.
Yeah,
so she's probably Madeline McCan.
She's posted childhood photos of herself side by side of Madeline, proving the resemblance. She says that she cannot remember large chunks of her childhood, but you really don't have memories before 3 anyway, so you wouldn't really remember that. And she's not 100% sure of her age, Caroline, because she's never seen her birth certificates. Her parents say that she's 21, but she's not sure because Madeline would be 19. So there's a chance she's actually 19. Her earliest memory is at a beach because, that's where Madeline's family was at this resort there. Earliest memory is at a beach. But she does not see her current family in this memory. So that's a red flag to her. Mm-hmm. She's from Poland, but currently lives in Germany. So there's very little hardcore proof that she's Madeline, but she's listed some things that they have in common. The smudge on her right iris, Madeline had, and so does Julia. This is a very distinct smudge, too.
It is.
I wonder if she stabbed herself in the eye to get that.
Maybe.
They have very similar eyes, which they both have beautiful eyes. The shape of their face, their ears, and their lips are all the same. Do you see it, Caroline? Do you see it? You guys, you need to go look at the side by side.
So similar. Look, they're both have noses and they both have eyes.
Are their lips pink?
It's basically the same person.
They both, Caroline, have a gap between their teeth.
Well, I don't see her teeth in this picture, so I don't see the gap.
She also said that she's never seen photos of her mom pregnant.
Well, I haven't either.
We know you're kidnapped. And that the
how would do you have Mom, can I see you pregnant?
I don't ask for it, but
I just think that's a random fact.
No.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some out there.
And I guess there was video footage of maybe Madeline's abductor. And so she says that the person on the video that I guess is out there somewhere looks like Julia's childhood abuser.
Oh, she had an abuser?
Yes. No. And so she thinks that the person who abducted her as Madeline abused her, and then now she's being raised as Julia.
But it's not the same person who's raising her?
No. She's had an abuser.
So she was trafficked?
But
who would make this up? I mean, a lot of people.
R. Kelly and Aaliyah's daughter just made something up. And this happens right afterwards. So it's like she had to think of something bigger and better. They both got 1 million followers now. So Madeline.
So who should I pretend to be?
Julia Roberts' daughter.
Okay.
You were kidnapped from Julia Roberts.
Yes.
Okay, so Madeline's parents have agreed to take a DNA test, to determine, like, let's shut this shit down. If you're my daughter, let's prove it.
Yeah. How long does that take?
Which is good.
I guess
don't
like
know.
a couple months, but unless you're in that one case that we talked about that took like 3 seconds to get the DNA. I don't remember what that was. But anyway, it's supposed to take a couple months, I think.
Madeline was last seen sleeping. Oh, I already said all that. They were in Praia de Luz on May 3rd, 2007. I was drunk last night when I wrote this.
I love it. No, but that's good. I think you should do this case, cover it, and we can get the full story about it because that was wild. That's wild.
What's sad to me is that these parents have been jerked around throughout the years. There has been people that have contacted them and said, I am in the child trafficking ring and I have your daughter, and they would send like pictures that look like their daughter, and they have paid thousands and thousands of dollars when they go up there, and it's like they've just been scammed. But it's for hope.
I know. It's so sad.
And it's just sad that people won't, I guess, like leave them alone. So we'll follow up on that. Now, I was like, ooh, could this be? But why would you go to Instagram or TikTok and do this?
I mean,
so
that's where you go, right?
I don't know, I guess. So her family, Julia's family, has spoken. Have you seen that?
No.
They put a post out there, and they would like to take a stand on Julia, which has been circling the internet and the media in many countries in the recent days. It's obvious to us as family that Julia is our daughter, granddaughter, sister, niece, cousin, stepdaughter. We have memories. We have photos. Julia also has these photos, but she took them from our family home along with her birth certificate, as well as many hospital discharges.
They're throwing her under the bus.
We always try to understand any situations that happened with Julia. Numerous therapies, drugs, psychologists, psychiatrists, all this was provided to Julia.
Oh.
She was not left alone. Julia's threats against us, her lies and her manipulations, and all of her activities on her internet. We saw all this, and we've tried to prevent it. We've tried to explain it. We asked her to stop. We always try to help her and get her back on her feet. Julia has been an adult for several years. She moved out of the house. She refuses treatment. She does not take medication regularly. She also did not take advantage of the possibility of treatment in a very good center in Poland, which agreed to accept her. Julia once wanted to be a singer and a model. She always wanted to be popular, and that is what's happening right now because she is now over 1 million followers. We are afraid of how Julia will bear the inevitable. The internet doesn't forget, and it's obvious that Julia is not Maddie. We are devastated by this current situation. At the same time, we want to declare that we will not give interviews, publish any photos, comment on articles, and direct any inquiries or comments to the spokesperson of the police headquarters in their area. And they said, peace out. My daughter's crazy.
Oh, no.
And then they posted this picture of Julia, which she looks sick.
Yeah, she does. Well, did they just give her, like, weird eyeshadow?
No, she looks like she hasn't slept in days.
Yeah, what? Is she? But she's on drugs?
No, I think she's mentally sick. Like, you don't...
Oh,
I don't think, like, she's on meth.
I mean, on this one video, she's talking about a freckle on her leg. That means she's Madeline McCan.
Oh, I mean,
I probably got
if I
the
go
same
missing and
freckle.
somebody comes with a birthmark...
I don't have a birthmark,
That's
so
it.
how would I ever know if it was somebody trying
They're
to...
7 feet tall.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, there's your updates. All I
Wow,
have.
those were so many updates.
Nothing new, but there was so many to catch up on. Now, is there anything on Brian Koberger besides the Innocence Project has picked him up? No, not really. There is a Brian Koberger is innocent page out there. It's real popular.
Has those weird
And
fetishes with the killers.
and they're loving him and sending him letters and stuff. So he's now a lustful icon.
No, just the stuff about the attorney, which that's nothing. The only thing I've heard about lately is the TikTok chick, but that has nothing to, I mean, it's the girl who accused the professor that saying she's the one that did the murders. And so she was kept accusing her, and then the professor sent a cease and desist, and then the professor sued her. Well, now the TikTok girl is suing the professor. Like, what?
Oh, everything turns into a dog and pony show.
Yeah, so, but I haven't, anything that they say right now, I feel like it's just media out there just doing media things because they're all under gag orders. So they can't say anything. So what's there to say? The only thing I know is that the house is boarded up.
Yeah.
Because you just showed me a picture.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that we have June is when the preliminary hearing is. So I guess I'll take off that week.
Go. You got $20 for your trip.
I got $20 for my trip. I'm there.
Okay, y'all. Thanks for tuning in for this quickie. If you see some cool articles, news articles that's happening right now that you think we should follow and get obsessed with, then send them to us because we don't always see them all.
Yep.
That's it. And before you go, don't forget to visit manscaped.com. You can get the whole package, or you can get individual things like the Weed Whacker or the Lawnmower 4.0 or the Great Boxers or the ball deodorant, or you can just get a cool little man bag and, put your
goodies in it.
Yeah, goodies, anything.
You can get 20% off. All you got to do is go to manscaped.com and enter promo code BHH.
Yes, and it's delivered for free to your doorstep.
Oh, I got free shipping.
Even if you live in Poland or Portugal.
Either way.
And if you're related to new Instagram famous model,
if you're Julia Madeline McCan, just go ahead. You can order some too.
Yeah. And then what about Four Sigmatic?
Oh my gosh.
Coffee made out of what?
Mushrooms?
Mushrooms.
Oh my gosh.
Does it sound good? But it is pretty good.
I mean, I love it.
All the antioxidants, all the things. And if it's all things and not even just coffee, it can be whatever your heart desires.
It can be
soup.
It can be coffee.
Yeah.
And you get energy and you get mental clarity, and you basically can run a marathon in like 10 minutes.
World record. Yeah. Thanks to World War II.
You can be in Biden shape.
All about it.
I mean, he's just scooting right along.
Who?
Joe Biden. He did like a physical the other day.
Oh, God. Oh, y'all. Okay, so this is it. We will see y'all Thursday for a full episode. Caroline, where are we going?
We're going to Australia.
Not Austria?
Not Austria. I know you get the two confused. We're not going to Germany.
I thought you were going to say Austin again.
No, we're not in Texas, and we're not in Austin because we've lived there. You lived there.
Damn y'all.
You lived there for a few episodes, which we are
at least 17 episodes. Okay, y'all. We will see y'all on Thursday. Don't forget to
stay aware,
stay alive,
and always be DTF.
And tell a friend about our podcast. Bye, y'all. Bye.
This has been a Rogue Media podcast.